Seventh grade. So I have been teaching seventh grade now for a few months, and I want to give you guys a mid-year update on how it's been going, review what I initially said that I was going to do in the beginning of the year, and if it actually happened or not. So let's go. Hey guys, it's Vani from Mrs. Mom's Homeschool, and welcome to my channel. And if you're new here, I make videos to help you on your homeschooling and motherhood journey. And I am a homeschooling mother of 2 children. I have 3 children. One is in school. We have been homeschooling for about 10-11 years now. So this is my first year actually homeschooling a 7th grader. And so I wanted to share with you guys things that we said we were going to do in the beginning of the year and whether or not it happened, and did we stick to the same curriculum or not. I was watching the old video that I made that I'll link in the card above, and I was really nervous to start teaching 7th grade because I felt that my son's lack of interest in school, because I was so excited to enter this new phase of life, and I was nervous that my son's lack of excitement was going to bring me down. And it did. What I thought would happen, what I hoped wasn't going to happen, did happen. So for a little while in the middle of the year, I just kind of felt like just throwing in the towel, never wanting to send him to school or anything. Just felt like, whatever, like I can't do this. So I took a break. I took a break for a little while. I took care of myself, and I had, we did the bare minimum. And so that's what's going to lead into this update. It wasn't him. It was just the frustration of everything in life not going as planned, and then this was just like the cherry on top. So if you've seen some of my other videos, you know that I had been having kind of a rough year, but I'm good now. I'm getting it together, but that was like a point where I needed to just stop and say, you know what, just get a math lesson done today, get a language arts lesson done today, and that's good enough. And I need to get myself together so that I can better teach you. So that's what I did, and now we're at a really good place. I'm glad I took the break. We do have to homeschool through the summer just to catch up. I have a video on We're Falling Behind, and I'll link that in the card above as well if you haven't seen it already. But like I said, we're doing a lot better, and my main goal this year is for my son to be independent in his work, because the curriculum that I've chosen for him, he's able to do it independently. However, all these years we have been doing things together. I was teaching him the science. I was teaching him like every subject, And so this is the first year of him doing it by himself, and he didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to take notes. He didn't know how to answer questions and in a notebook, because the curriculum that we were using didn't have him do that. So I realized that instead of me getting frustrated with him not being able to just do it, I had to teach him how to do it. So I would sit with him for a little while and just watch the videos. Anyway, you know what? Let's go in subject by subject. All right, so math, the good and the beautiful math. We were struggling because it was just taking him too long, and I realized it was just because he was being distracted. So I love the math. It's a really good math program. We're gonna definitely stick with it. They just released level 7. I made a video for that as well. He's in 7th grade, but he's still doing level 6 because we switched over from Beast Academy Math. I'm gonna link a whole bunch of videos in the description of this because I have videos on all this stuff. You guys go check out the description when you're done this video. So I realized that for math I had to be near him and make sure that he wasn't getting distracted. Show him how awesome it is to get school done by 1 o'clock each day if you just sit there and focus. So we are still working on that with the math. Science, we are still using Apology as Science, the general science. I really like it. I like that it teaches him to take notes, to pay attention. So he watches the video. As he's watching the video, he has questions in his notebook that he has to write down the answers to, which is great practice for when he gets to high school and college courses, where he's gonna have to be listening to an instructor for important information and taking down notes. So that's why I switched over to Apologia from the Good and the Beautiful Science for him for middle school. And so he was having a hard time with that, and then the test and all that, something we had never done, So I realized that I sat there with him a couple lessons, watched the video, stopped, I taught him how to read the questions ahead of time, then watched the video. And when he remembered there was a question on a topic, he paused the video and go ahead and write the answers. So I was teaching him step by step what to do, and now he's able to knock it out easily because I had to guide him and show him what to do instead of just expecting him to know what he should be doing. Language arts. So for language arts, we started using the Good and the Beautiful level 7, which is high school level. Lots of grammar. Has some writing in it. However, my son hates writing, and he's not a person who enjoys creative writing. He has a hard time with writing anything, getting his thoughts down on the paper. So we decided to pause on the Good and the Beautiful, pick it up next year, and I instead turned to IEW. So he's doing American history with IEW. So what we'll do is we kind of cover a little bit of history. We're watching videos on whatever the essay is about. And then what I like about the IEW for him is that it teaches him what to do step by step, which is what he needs. So some kids have this creative writing, skill that they have, and IEW kind of squashes that for them, and they're not able to have their creative outlet because they have to, add your ly adverbs, add strong verbs, and different things like that. So, but there's other kids who need the structure, need to be told, right? Like this, so that's why it's really working well for him. So he's doing a paper every week. And then with the grammar, so I'll jump in, and I have a book where he has to edit paragraphs for 7th grade level, and I'll have him do that once in a while. And then 7th grade, we'll jump back into the good and the beautiful. Once he has the basics of writing, he's got used to doing it for a whole year, then he can start with the creativity part of it, with the good and the beautiful, which is less structured. Does break it up for him, though. I do like that, but it wasn't as structured as he needed it. And when you're homeschooling, it's really important to find out what each of your individual children need and work to that. And it's okay to switch curriculums several times in the year as long as they're learning what it is that you want them to learn, that you think they should be learning. For history, I'm supposed to be doing those booklets, the History of Us books. I was supposed to do 1 and 2 over the summer, and then do 3 to 6 now. We're still on book 1 because, like I said, we took a break where we just did the basics. And so I'm going to finish book 1 and 2 with him, and then we're going to jump over to Tuttle Twins history. I have the second book, so we're going to jump over so the time frames are going to connect, so 1 and 2 of the History of Us with the Tuttle Twins. The reason why I'm switching it is because I have also a 3rd grader, and I'm just going to put on the read out loud for the Tuttle Twins with the pictures, and then they have a lot of fun activities, and it's American history, and it's one subject I don't have to jump back and forth for the both of them. I can just jump back to that family style learning, at least for that one subject, including our read out loud, because we've separated everything this year. So I'm going to jump back into that family style soon, where we're just going to be doing the Tuttle Twins American history. For Bible, I was conflicted between 2 different great Bible curriculums that I had. I had Chasing Adulthood on one hand, and then I had Positive Action, Wise Up on the other hand, and I just didn't know which one to do. So I decided to do the Positive Action, Wise Up, which teaches him through the book of Proverbs how to be wise, how to make wise choices with your friends, with what you see, with what you do, with everything. And then the Chasing Adulthood, once he's a little bit more mature, a little bit older, which is next year, I'm going to do the Chasing Adulthood. I think it'll work out better in that order. So if you want to see those in detail, I have, once again, links in the description below. And then the final thing is our morning basket. I was going to do a loop schedule through our morning basket, and I had all these great books and things, but it's a long day. It's a lot of work, and I have been incorporating breaks and outside time into the middle of our day, because it's really important for me that he enjoys the school day, and we are not there yet. But once we get to follow our schedule the way that I have it planned, and I have a video on my schedule as well, it's going to be very enjoyable for both of my kids. If I can get them to focus and do their work in a certain amount of time, we're going to be adding some fun activities and breaks in the middle to break up the day and just enjoy being together. I just want to enjoy this time with my kids. It goes by so fast. My daughter's 16, and I miss her being homeschooled and all of that, and so I want to cherish this time with my younger 2, and just enjoy all the years of homeschooling. So my last advice is to, wrap up this video. Don't be afraid to take a break if you need a break. If you need a mental health break, if you need some time to away from teaching the children to get yourself together, do it. Do what you have to do. It's not the end of the world if they're not at the same level as everybody else. I mean, they're already ahead because you're homeschooling them. And if they're not, so what? Take the time that you need so that you can be a better mother and a better teacher. Recap number 2, if you need to switch up curriculum, do it. Number 3, remember the kids don't just know what to do. Don't just throw them into something and expect them to do it. If they're having trouble, it's probably because they're not understanding exactly what to do. So take the time to sit with them, guide them through it step by step for a couple of days or weeks until they don't need you anymore. I want to thank you guys for watching. Good luck this homeschool year, and I'll see you in the next video.